right there. See what I said? Let it sit, and boom, we picked another one up. This one looks a little better than the last one, and he's got some giddy up in him. Yep, he's bigger than the first one, so we did go up in size. Chunky monkey there. Well, welcome to Hooked by Hurley. Today we're doing a little midday bass fishing. It's just after 12 o'clock in the summertime here in Phoenix, pushing 100 degrees. Typically we fish in the morning. I'm usually done by noon, or I'll fish in the evening just before dark. But I was reading an interesting article about some of the best times to fish is mid-afternoon and different techniques to try. I'll link the article down below, but I'm going to start here by first trying to catch myself a live bluegill to use for bait as well, and then I'm going to switch up and do different kinds of methods and see if we can't catch some mid-afternoon bass. That took no time at all. Number 10 bobber. I didn't have a bobber. Number 10 hook with a small piece of worm. I already got a bluegill here. I put it on like a 4/0, on an extra wide gap hook here. It's about all I really have to use on this lighter weight pole other than my big catfish rig. So if a catfish hits this, well, we'll see what happens. We're going to throw this guy out over here in the shallows on that bobber. It's not very deep, but that corner's usually been pretty good for bass. Put it in this rod holder and we'll see what happens. I'm going to put it down low so in case something big does hit it, like a catfish. And we'll let him swim around out there. And in the meantime, we're going to get set up on a drop shot. In the article it also mentioned that this time of day is a great time because, according to their theory, a lot of us fish for bass in the morning. Let me find real quick, hold on, and get my train of thought here. I got a few more of these in here, but their theory is, what they say is that in the mornings and the evenings when the light is a little dimmer, a lot of people fish then, you get a lot of bites, I do too. But they say typically a lot of male bass are out at that time. They're ambushing and hiding in the shade and stuff like that, and they don't want to be seen in the sun. But the female bass apparently like brighter skies, sunnier skies, where they can see better. They're more sight predators. They like to get out there and hunt and ambush during the day. So they said live bluegill is a great bait to use, and they also said using like curly-tailed worms, slow, using them really slow. Anything that looks more realistic, so like swim baits, crankbaits, things like that, deep diving. So I'm going to start with this because I got a drop shot set up already ready to go, and I got a curly tail worm here. So I'm going to use this because it's one of the things they recommend. So I'm going to set up a drop shot while that bobber's out there. See if we can get a bass on a live bluegill, and it's perfect. Nice small little bluegill. This is also a bluegill colored 4.5-inch robo worm with a curly tail. And I'm going to slow run this one out there and see if we can. They say typically in the afternoon is sometimes when you can catch the bigger bass. A little bit harder to do, a little more work, but you can catch bigger bass, they said. So I'm going to put that theory to the test here. I'm going to see if I can hook into a little bit bigger bass here in this pond than I normally do, which most of them are right about a pounder or so. Let's see if we can get something over a pound today. Got the bobber out there, got the drop shot ready, and we're just going to work this and see if we can hook into anything in this mid-afternoon heat. Like I said, I'll link this article. It was very interesting. They go over different times of the year, spring, summer, fall, winter, what they recommend to use and how to use it. They also recommend when it's bright and sunny versus cloudy. Right now we're bright and sunny, there's not a cloud in the sky, so going with the techniques that they listed there for this, which was using realistic baits, swim baits, long-tailed, curly-tailed worms, working them real slow, being very finesse. They also mentioned using like crankbaits, deep diving baits. So we might switch over to one of those too. Still trying to see if we can get a midday summer bass here. Using a curly-tailed bold using a curly-tailed 4.5-inch bold bluegill on the drop shot. It was one of the ones they recommended using was a curly-tailed worm. And we got one right there. First cast out to the middle. Alright, so we can get a mid-afternoon bass. Let's get him up here and see what we got. Supposedly the later afternoon bass are supposed to be a little bigger. Let's see. This guy's a decent size, not huge or anything, but we got one right out in the middle there. Get this hook out of there. All right, here we go. So there's the first one that's hooked by Hurley, fat boy. Here mid-afternoon, probably about 12:30 on the drop shot. And we still have the bobber out there with the bluegill on it. So that was the first cast out towards the middle. I had started working the edges, and then I threw that one right out in the middle, first cast, and we got our first one. So I don't know if I got the strings dirty, so all right, let's go right back out to the middle there. Going out into the deep with these guys in this hotter part of the day. Keeping this bobber over near the shore in the shade, and then I'm going to be working the deep with this robo worm. See if we can get some mid-afternoon bass. He was a decent size, not huge, but about towards the larger size of what I normally get in this pond. So I'm kind of curious to see if we can get anything bigger. And we do have a reddish orange drag. Oh, look! I left it sitting there, looking at this dragonfly, and I got another bite. Nice and slow. Is that two in a row there? This guy feels a little better than the last one. I left it there. I was distracted by that. Oh, and he broke me off. He looked good, and he broke me off. He definitely was bigger than the last guy. Well, time for some push-ups and to retie on another rig. Well, while I'm retying my line, I threw the bluegill out deeper here, kind of where I got those first two bites. I've got the line retied, getting ready to go back out there, but I owe 10 push-ups for breaking off there on a nice bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now let's get back out there. Well, we just got broke off by the second bass we got in a row. Well, the first one we didn't get broken off on, but the second one we did. It broke on the fluorocarbon. It's 8-pound polymer knot. It's what I've been using for a while now. I don't know why that broke. He didn't look like he might have been a couple pounds. Definitely a bigger one. My drag is pretty loose. I don't know what I did there. So I even switched up to braid from Berkeley to this other company. I don't remember the name, I don't have it with me, but more expensive brand I found online. But let's try this again. I was distracted by that dragonfly who was on the tip of my pole, and I was just letting it sit there for a second while I was showing you guys the dragonfly on my pole, and next thing you know, bam, he just hit it. So that was 2 casts in a row right out in this area. The second one definitely felt better than the first one. So I guess there's something to really moving slowly through here, because I left it sitting there. I might have been slightly moving the pole a little bit, showing you guys the dragonfly, and then bam, he just nailed it. Oh yeah, I've gotten one, lost one. Yeah, I got one, and then one just broke me off.
What are you using?
I got a worm on there,
oh, okay.
like a 4.5-inch robo worm. I'm doing a for my YouTube channel, I do all the fishing. I do fish around Arizona, and I'm trying to do a midday thing. So I also have a live bluegill out on that one.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they said using live bluegill on a bobber, sometimes they'll come up for it. So I figured I'd keep an eye on that. That's allowed, isn't it? I caught him right here.
Yeah. Yep.
I caught him. I've used them for catfish and stuff. So I figured maybe I'd throw him on a bobber, let him swim around a little bit, and see. So I got him right here. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that bobber while I'm doing this real quick. But let me grab me my license. I got carded twice in a row over at Gilbert the other day. Well, that's the third time I've been carded by Game and Fish so far. Twice over at the Discovery Ponds. Once when I was doing my episode there, and then I went that following Saturday with Terry, one of my subscribers, and we both got carded. Same guy. This is a different guy, so that's the first time I've been carded out here in the afternoon. I guess they probably hit more on the weekends, typically. But I showed him what I had. We're good to go. Made sure we were definitely fine, okay, with fishing with live bluegill that I caught here, and he said no problem. So he asked me, he had a lot of questions about what I was doing and what I was using, but I think more for his own knowledge. He wanted to know what I was using to catch these. He saw me bring in the one bass, and he saw me lose that other bass when he was over carding the guys over there in the gazebo. So he came and asked me what I was using and wanted to see everything and the hooks and stuff. So I kind of showed him how to do it. Quick little tutorial on drop shotting for the Game and Fish guy. So I guess he likes to get out there like everyone else and catch some fish. So let's see if we can hook into another one. The strike being, of course, the broken line. Just trying to get as much fishing in as I can right now before I leave for Maui on Tuesday. I'll probably put these videos out and just schedule them to come out this week while I'm gone. So if you guys are seeing these, I'm probably in Maui right now. It's supposed to be around 80 degrees highs and 65 lows. As of right now, it says clear skies after Monday. So we'll see. Never been to Hawaii or even out of the continental United States before, so this ought to be fun. Celebrating the wife's 40th birthday this month, and next month is our 21st wedding anniversary. So we had plans last year for our 20th to go to Cancun, but there was this pandemic thing that happened, and everything got canceled. So this is kind of combo anniversary and celebrating my wife's 40th anniversary, or our 20th, 21st, and her 40th, I guess, anniversary of life. So half her life with me, poor girl. She should get a medal for that. Make sure this tail's, this tail, I've seen that before in a couple of these. Sometimes that tail just doesn't wiggle good in the water. Let's get a different one. I switched up my RoboWorm. After I lost that one on that bite, I grabbed a freshener out of the pack, been using that for the last 10 minutes, and then I noticed as I was bringing it into shore, when I bring it up here along the water, that tail, if you see this one, I don't know if you can catch that in the water, it really wiggles really cool through the water. I noticed the other one wasn't doing that. Every once in a while, I will get one out of the pack where the tail doesn't wiggle at all going through the water. I really want it to be flapping around. That's the whole point of a curly tail. So it wasn't doing any action the last 10 minutes on the other one. So I switched it to a fresh one and checked it just there. I should always be checking it before I throw it and make sure that tail is doing what it should be doing in the water. I mean, that's really the main purpose of using a curly tail, is to get that, that flopping action in the water. If I'm not getting that, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Oh. First cast, we got a little tug. I don't know if that's because it's the curly tails working. Oh, no, they're hitting it again. I'm going to let it sit there for a second. They're popping at it. It had 2 or 3 little tugs there. Where's the dragonfly when you need it? Give me some luck. You know, that is just crazy though. As soon as I switched to a curly tail that's working right, I got a bunch of little hits there. Oh, we got one right there. Okay, let's see if we can keep this guy. See, I'm being real patient, just letting it sit out there. It's the 3rd one we've hit right straight ahead of me, out in the deep. Let's see if we can hold on to this bad boy. He doesn't feel very big right now, but he's been swimming straight at me, so. Nope, just a decent, regular size. No big boys yet, except for the one that broke us off. So that's number 2 that's been hooked by Hurley here in the midday on the drop shot. We're using that curly tail bold bluegill here. Come on. There we go. That is a little dinker. Chunky little dinker. We're going down. I thought they said mid-afternoon we're supposed to be bigger fish. But we'll take it. A bite is a bite. Okay, we put the bobber back out in the middle here, where we've been getting bites on the drop. Hoping one will come up and smack that bluegill. I want to put him down a little bit lower, but he keeps finding his way to the shore. I don't want that line to get tangled, plus I worry about catfish. So I'm hoping one will come up and get him there. But this has been the spot for me, straight ahead, and I've been able to stand in this shade. If I wasn't getting bites here, I'd probably start moving. But this has been a pretty good spot. We got a decent one to start, then a bigger one that broke us off, and then that 3rd one was definitely the smallest one of the day. So hopefully we can start catching a couple more. Maybe we can get them a little bigger. I've been just real patiently rolling this curly-tailed bold bluegill, 4.5-inch robo worm. Oh, look, and that's good. Oh, he was back again. That red dragonfly was back. He brought us luck last time when he was on our pole. Even though I lost the guy. Oh, it was moving. My line was taken off. I thought that we had something on there. It definitely looked like it was moving. Oh man, that definitely, it looked like it and kind of felt like the line just took off straight right on me. And as soon as I lifted up, there was nothing. I didn't even feel a struggle or any kind of anything. So maybe the wind has kind of changed about face now, and now it's blowing at me instead of behind me. So maybe that just played some tricks on me. Now it's going to definitely blow this bobber back in front of me. I don't really see him swimming around now. He used to struggle a little more when he was out in the middle. Oh. Something took it again there. He had it and ran with it and fell off. Oh, he's back again. I left it. He came back. Oh, I like the double tapper. Come on. There we go. Look at this. Midday summer bass is working. And he's bigger than the last guy. That's a good sign. They're all getting hooked in the exact same spot, right in the side there of the mouth. Here, open up. Open up. Hey. The sooner you cooperate, the sooner we can get you back out there, feisty bugger. Thought you guys were supposed to be tired in the midday, but no. Almost got him in the eye there. Be careful here. Oh, and I said I was going to take a picture for Instagram. Let's do that. I keep forgetting. Brought the phone out for this reason. Alright. Another one hooked by Hurley. Let's go. Let's find a nice crankbait in here. Here we go. This has always been a fun one to use. It dives down quite a bit. We'll see if we can get it snagged and do some push-ups. I mean, it's obviously getting snagged inside my box here. I had this thing all nicely organized when I started this little trip 2 months ago, and it's gotten to look like the rest of your guys' tackle boxes. Okay. So here we go. I've got like a nice like bluegill shad style Rapala jointed one with a rattle. This thing's usually about a 6 foot deep diver. Let's go right through this area where we were getting bites earlier. They've given up on the worm that they were going for earlier, so let's go with the next thing they said to use, which was deep diving crankbaits. So I don't have a square bill, I gotta get one, but I can use this one. Like that slow moving mess worm, but right now they don't seem to be interested in the faster moving crankbait. Oh, as soon as I say that, boom, right there. We got one. Alright. Look at that, crankbait came through with a nice size one too. Get up here. He's a bigger boy for the day, the biggest one so far on the crankbait. Yeah, I can't even get my hand around this guy. I want to grab his bottom lip, but he's got the hook there. Yep, come here. Come here. I'm flumbering all around with you. He's got it nicely in the bottom lip there. Oh, alright. Well, that's a bigger one. There you go. Crankbait paid off. Okay, so the crankbait worked. Nice, decent chunker there. That's been hooked by Hurley on the crankbait. There you go, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Hooked by Hurley. I'm on day 2 of my midday fishing tips. I'm following an article that I'll link down below that talks about some of the best things to use for midday bass. Right now we're looking at, I'm going to get some light on this. It's 100 degrees and 12:04. I went back to the exact same spot I was yesterday to keep the conditions the same. So I'm going to be fishing from the same area, but I'm going to try the different baits and lures that I did not catch on yesterday, which would be, I'm going to try to grab myself a live bluegill here and put it out. Alright, that didn't take very long at all for us to get a live bluegill. Got this little guy right here on a, I think it's a 3 extra wide gap hook. That's what I'm going to use. He's still swimming around good. Not very long on the drop there, maybe like 2 feet down. It's pretty shallow in this corner. This is the one thing I haven't got anything on, was live bluegill for a bass. They say to use this in the midsummer days. So we're going to try to put him out there and let him struggle. Make sure we got plenty of slack on this line just in case like a big cat or something hits it. I just picked up some of these power bait power worms. This is plum and chartreuse. It says you can also drop shot this one as well. You can do a wacky rigs, Carolina rigs, Texas rigs. So, like I said, they said to use curly-tailed worms. So we are going to go with this guy. I've never used one of these before. So brand new, just picked it up today. We got some yesterday on the bull bluegill with the curly tail, much smaller worm presentation. So I'm going to go with this one. I put some 12-pound fluorocarbon on here now, so hopefully we won't be getting broken off. All right, let's start with the old nose hook, and if we get bites and we're not getting hookups, actually he's pretty thick, so you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go with the standard drop hookup there, so that way we have that exposed. Now it says we can also wacky rig this, so I guess if depending how things go, we might also try the wacky. See if this style of worm works as good as yesterday with the bold bluegill. Again, working it super slow and finesse. We're going to go right through here. Using a 1/4 ounce weight on the drop. I switched, like I said, to a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader since we broke off again yesterday. When I first started drop shotting, I had 6-pound. We had a lot of issues. Then I switched it up to 8-pound. Got a lot better. Didn't miss as many fish, but we're still getting broken off from time to time. I had a few of the subscribers and people watching commenting that they use 12-pound. So I picked up some 12-pound. Not sure if I can go much bigger than that without, being able to get it through the eyelet several times to set up the drop shot properly. So let's see if the 12-pound is the ticket. If not, we're doing more push-ups. We're definitely going to work this guy really slow through here. Bobber is moving around quite a bit right now. Oh, but a turtle just popped up over here, so I don't know if the turtle would go for a bluegill or not. Guess we'll find out. He's swimming around. He just took off again. He's moving pretty quick. Keep an eye on that guy. Now in the mornings, I fish this area quite a bit in the mornings, and this corner has always been, oh, we got one right there. See, I'm talking, and I got one. There we go. Look at that, guys. There we go, first one hooked by Hurley today. Come here. With that new worm. Ow! Man, he got me good with the dorsal fin. Payback. Little guy, little chunker, but the first one hooked by Hurley today. And that's on the curly-tailed plum and chartreuse power bait worm. I think this is a 7-incher. Probably one of the longest ones I have in my tackle box. Look, he got me good with his dorsal fin there. Yeah, that's alright. I got him good, so payback. Let's put it back down there. And see that? I wasn't paying attention, just letting it sit there while I was checking out my bobber that was moving quite a bit. And bam, he nailed me, probably about 8 feet out there maybe or so. I do have one more power worm here with a curly tail I wanted to try before I move to the front, since it's been dead back here. A power worm, 4-inch watermelon red glitter by Berkeley. Take a look at this guy. A little shorter with a tail on it. The other one was 7 inches with that chartreuse tail. So let's give this guy a shot here before we move to the front. I wanted to try everything I brought with me at least once before I move to the front. And again, I'm going to go with the old nose hook on this guy. Let's see. He feels too thick. Let's go that way, guys, the way you like it. Let's expose that hook, not miss the hookup. Let's make sure our line's not going to get in our way. Different color worm, different presentation, shorter. Let's try this one. Give this a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll probably shoot to the front. Try a whole new area. Throw all this stuff at him up there. See if it makes a difference. So far the worms have been what's been doing it. I think we got 3 yesterday on the worm and lost a couple. And then we got just 1 on the crank. being really patient with these worms, working them really slow. A lot of those bites have happened when I just have let it sit for a lot longer than I might normally do it. Right there. See what I said? Let it sit, and boom, we picked another one up. This one looks a little better than the last one, and he's got some giddy up in him. Yep, he's bigger than the first one, so we did go up in size. Chunky monkey there. Don't. I don't want him to rip my finger open like the last guy did. Come here. Alright. So there we go, guys. Another one on the drop shot with the curly tail this morning. First time using those new worms today. Never used them before, right up fresh out of the package. And we got ourselves 2 this morning. And he's definitely bigger and chunkier than the last guy. You've been hooked by Hurley. All right. I'm just kind of watching my line to see what it does. Even with this wind, I can tell if it pulls. Like right now, I feel like it pulled. I feel like something might be on there right now. Yep, there we go. All right. Well, he feels pretty good. He's all the way up against the wall over here. Oh yeah, it's a nice one. Decent guy. And I let him make sure he had that guy this time. Come here. Come here. Oh, there we go. Man, they're definitely getting a little bigger. I can get a grip on them. They've gone up since the first one. Definitely chunky monkey. I'll take that. Third one hooked by Hurley. Second one on that plum and red flake power worm with the curly tail. Say hello to the camera. All right. And he took the worm, so let's move to the front and see if we can have any luck up there. Well, I did what I said I was going to do. I moved up to the front corner of my pond. We ended up getting a few back there on the drop shot. I still want to try to get something on a swim bait. Not sure if I can run a crank through here. We did get one in the back on a crank because it is a little deeper in the middle, but right through here it's very shallow. So I don't think I can run a crank through here without getting hacked up on something. And I know that that's probably made for deeper waters, that tactic, which it worked back there yesterday. So I'm going to go with the swim bait. So we haven't gotten one on this yet. And this I can control the depth of a little better. We were able to keep that bluegill alive and brought him over here. So he's out there swimming in this corner. And I'm going to try working out here with the swim bait. Let's see if we can get one. Oh, my bobber is taken off. My bobber just took off. I don't know if that's the little guy swimming that fast or if something grabbed him, because it was swimming really fast against the current. It's moving really fast. Maybe we got something, unless that bluegill all of a sudden took steroids. It is swimming straight towards the corner there. You see it? See how fast it's going towards the corner? Let's see if we got something on this bluegill. Oh yeah. Oh no, we didn't. Maybe that was just him. Felt like something for a split second. I guess maybe he was just hauling ass to the corner. And he's not really swimming right now. Something, oh look. Look at that. Look at the back end of him. Something had him and was running towards the corner with him. Oh man. We almost got one, guys. Maybe I was a little too aggressive. He was running with him. Maybe I should have let him take it a little longer. Now, I tried to throw that bobber in the corner, but now the wind changed directions again, and it's blowing him back out there. So we'll see. I put it a little shorter, so he's only about a foot down. Didn't look like he's really moving much anymore. I think he's bit the dust, but we'll leave him out there, see what happens. We didn't get any luck on that watermelon red 4-inch power bait worm, so I went to the 7-inch plum with chartreuse tail. Let's try this. Really like to get one more out here since we moved to the front. We might be running out of time. Oh, nope, as soon as I say that and take a break, we get one. There we go, on the wacky rig. Oh, nice jump, nice jump. Small little guy, but you know what, we'll take it. Got one in the front on the wacky rig. Probably a good thing I wacky rigged it for his size. Come here. Right in the side of the mouth there. So we got one in the front. Little dinker-dink, but we'll take it. If I can get this hook out. Drop the worm. Come on, don't want to do any damage to you. Get it through there easy. Come on, there we go. Boy, look at that, littlest guy of the day. But thank you. Little baby dink hooked by Hurley. Alright, so we did find some bass in the front here. Well, that's going to do it for our midday summer bass episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something. I learned a few things. Check out the link below. It's got a lot of tips down there on different kinds of bass fishing for all times of the year. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you saw something that you had a question about or any information you want to share with me. And don't forget to subscribe. I put out videos all the time. And again, thanks for watching Hooked by Hurley.